Hey Daimon, are you out of a job as well? Yeah, I am. Okay, well let's do something. Yeah!
Let's finally do something. So what do you want to do?
I want to talk about the setup you have here.
This is the Lumix S1H. I really like this camera. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and also an ambassador. So it doesn't mean that I'm here to tell you how great Panasonic is. So anything I say is my own view.
Multi-award-winning Lumix ambassador Daimon Xanthopoulos is known for his documentary work in both photography and film. He's been using the Panasonic S1H and a pre-release version of the new camera firmware that unlock ProRes RAW recording on the Atomos Ninja 5. We talk about his favorite camera setup and the advantages of ProRes RAW.
I think what I really like about this camera is the flexibility it gives me. Both in the way you want to work, in the look you want to create, and also how big you want to make your set. So now we have it on a focus rig with a matte box and Atomos recorder that we can record actually ProRes Roll with. So a lot of flexibility, but at the same instance you can have also just a small hand camera with a monitor. So for example, if I'm standing filming like this, the intimacy and my appearance is very small because I'm turned into myself. I work with the camera. Of course I'm doing stuff, but my focus is here. If you're really into video, of course it makes sense to really look to video cameras. On the other hand, with this camera you can do a photo report, you can do a documentary, you can shoot anamorphic, you can shoot full frame, you can shoot vlog, you can shoot normal, you can shoot cinema 4K, you know. So suddenly this has much more abilities and much wider use. And for photographers, it's something we understand because this is the camera I work day and night with. In the beginning, I used a big camera for a project we did in Odessa on street children. And I realized I couldn't take pictures because I was only a camera operator.
Would you still be inclined to buy a bigger camera?
Looking at the quality, yes, but now with the S1H, I'm like, no, actually, I work a lot with documentary type of shootings where you have to deal with situations that you cannot control at that moment. And for me, then bigger size cameras in a way become a limitation.
Basically what we've been talking about right now, that was all what was already there. Actually, I'm a noob when it comes to ProRes RAW. So what does that actually mean? What does that bring to the system?
The reason why I used, for example, Atomos recorders, because it would give me the ability to actually do a shooting on 512 gigabyte, come home, unplug these, plug it in my computer and just start editing. But the downside of it all is that you have to work with an extra weight, an extra cable, an extra connection. They have now the ProRes Roll recording, and I've been working the last weeks with it. Suddenly this device brings much more to the table, and then Roll is giving you all this extra data information to change exposure, white balance and everything, like people, especially photographers, know as a RAW file. It's a big advantage, it's a big deal, especially for example in my case where I'm not always using film light. I have to do a lot with available light, and it's not just more color information or more data, it's also if you have a file where, for example, your highlights are totally clipped. In the past, if you would get back your file, it was just gone, you know, clipped is clipped, it's out of the reach of the file. With ProRes Roll you can retrieve it and have all the information coming back, lift your blacks up, so it gives you a lot of a lot of room in the file to actually really change the way you look or maybe change the white balance. It makes the recorder in combination with the S1H suddenly a much more powerful solution than just nice to work with.
There's always going to be the purists who say like, yeah, but you have to like expose your shot good anyways, like, right? Like you shouldn't make mistakes. So how does this fit into your work?
I'm a purist. I don't like making mistakes, but when I do make a mistake, because I'm human, it's nice if you're in a way saved by your equipment. I should step over my ego and just use it and tell the story. So I think it's a flexible solution, and of course you need to use good drives to do the ProRes RAW recording.
Yeah.
They're listed on the Atomos website.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, because this is only 5.9K?
No, you have 5.9K RAW, ProRes Roll. You have 4K in 60p, 4K in DCI mode, and you have anamorphic 4K. So these are the ones that are most usable. What's really important compared to other manufacturers that are providing RAW, for example, is that your viewfinder and everything still works. You can use real waveforms, you can use V-Log, you have still LUT displays, so there's still a lot of the functionality of the camera is not affected, and it's free.
The fact that now these cameras are getting it might actually sway me to at least look at a very good B cam that does this. Yeah.
Well, I think this is how I see it. For some people it will be a B cam, and they will realize at some point that actually at some points it's even better as an A cam than as a B cam.